What's the crack? Welcome to the Irish Voice Podcast, the very Christmassy edition of the Irish Voice Podcast. Kieran and I are rocking Christmas jumpers, and my mother has an absolute killer of a hangover. So that's as Christmassy as you can get in Ireland. We'll try and be easy on you here, Mum. 4 topics to discuss. First one from myself is going to be a statement, and then we'll get your reaction to it. Second one, we're going to talk about Manchester United's game against Bournemouth, which could be an entire podcast for everything that happened in it. And then thirdly, I want to talk about Bruno Fernandes's interview, guys. And then fourthly, I want to have a look at the game tomorrow. So first one, right, and get your reaction to it. I am now 75% Amorim out and 25% Amorim in. And it's based on his behaviours in the Bournemouth game and the lead up to it, and then his handling of the Bruno Fernandes situation. So we go into the topics that Bruno Fernandes went through, later on. But I think if it was any other player, Ruben Amorim would have taken a harder stance. And I was surprised at how weak he was with what was disastrous timing with the interview. And also, I think Ruben Amorim gave the game away for his midfield plans when he said this week that, he was a driving force behind Bruno Fernandes staying. I just thought, you're buying Carlos Baleba to play with Bruno Fernandes in midfield. You don't understand the Premier League, so you need to go. Thoughts?
I think it's a touch harsh, to be honest. Yeah, but...
So we break it down, okay? First off, do we think, after the weeks of us saying that Manchester United need a new midfield, that I'm correct in thinking that he has shown this week that he wants to partner Bruno Fernandes with another midfielder?
You don't know that. I wouldn't know that for sure. You can say, it looks this way and it looks that way, but nobody knows unless you're Ruben Amorim or the board or anything like that. Like Bruno said it himself, like he has had offers to go. And I think with... my opinion of it is with new manager coming into such a big club to completely get rid of your captain straight off the bat, who's been such a servant and has the highest figures and stats in terms of assists and goals consistently over the last 5 years, is a big, bold move. And I think Bruno said that there. They mentioned the word courage to get rid of. But in my opinion, it wouldn't have been a good move for any new manager coming in and getting rid of Bruno Fernandes, because there would have been an uproar and no fan backing at all. Straight onto they're making the job harder for themselves, I think, coming into the role.
I partially agree and partially disagree. I think it would have shown a clear, defined game plan and what he wanted to do with the football club. So I understand what you're saying in that, we can't judge what's going on. We don't know the definites, but what we can do is read into the 2 statements. First off, Bruno Fernandes emphatically said, Ruben Amorim wanted me to stay. Ruben Amorim has continuously this season said that Kobe Mainoo cannot get game time because that's Bruno Fernandes' position. You very rightfully have said that he has chosen Bruno Fernandes as his captain. He wants to stick with that decision. He convinced him to stay. And that is why I want Ruben Amorim to get sacked. I think he has made a colossal error in judgment in choosing what has been a very divisive captain. You've got, see, in terms of talent in footballing, right? Bruno Fernandes, I've said this many times, is world class, right? But I cannot fucking stand him. I really don't like him as a person, as a player. I think he is one of the worst examples of the modern Manchester United that I have ever seen. Constantly yapping at his teammates, constantly yapping at the referees, and then he got asked about it by Rio Ferdinand, and he almost arrogantly turned around and said, yeah, but my running backs up the amount of yapping that I do. No, it doesn't. Not when you have that captain's armband on. You can't behave the way you behave. And explosive interviews to say, the club wanted to sell me and I was hurt, but the manager told me to stay. Well, that doesn't look great on you or the manager, because when we lead on to the Bournemouth game, Bruno Fernandes is part of the reason that was 4-4. He is not a central midfield player, and the consistency with which Ruben Amorim puts him into that team at that centre midfield position is a nightmare fuel. If you wanted to keep him, Kieran, play him as a 10, but you didn't. You kept him and you made him our centre midfielder. And now we're hearing all the rumours and everything coming out is that you're ignoring the Elliot Anderson and Adam Morton interest now because Carlos Baleba could play with Bruno Fernandes. No, he could not. No, you're going to shit on Baleba with that.
No, my
Yeah, but
my
it's Bruno Fernandes. Sorry, Kier. It's Bruno Fernandes. He's a placeholder at the moment. I am fairly convinced that he'll go in the summer.
yeah.
Firmly convinced. And that's what he is at the moment. He's not partnered. I think he's kept Bruno Fernandes and want Bruno Fernandes to stay as sort of like a general in that dressing room that's on his side, Amorim's side. And let him alone. He's a very divisive character, yes. But he's still also the best consistent player for Man United this season.
Oh, I agree. But I mean, that's Manchester United to a T for the last 10 years. We, as a fan base, lord and praise individuals, right, who cannot play as team members. Bruno Fernandes is not a team player. He is not the player you want in your team to take you up into the top upper echelons of the Premier League. Not when you're a struggling squad like Manchester United. You should have sold him for £100 million and built balance into the team with two midfielders. It's that simple. It was a mistake from Ruben Amorim. It was naive and it was a mistake. He believed that Bruno Fernandes would be better in that position than he thought Bruno Fernandes could be. And anyone in their dog, anyone worth their salt, any manager, elite manager would have looked at it and went, no. If he can't play in the 10 position, he's going to be an issue. And then you went and bought him Bruno and Cunha. And Sesko.
Yeah.
You bought a new attack
that was a
where he can't play now. And then shoehorned him into centre midfield. Do you know what it reminds me of? It smacks of Louis van Gaal and Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you're not going to play him as a 10, don't play him at all.
Yeah, but he's done that much, the same as Rooney was. The people are willing to ignore it. Oh no, you can't not have Bruno in the team. Yeah, but he can't defend midfield and Bournemouth transfers. Yeah, but you can't not have him in the team. Listen to what you're fucking saying. Make it make sense on both sides.
No, but I think for the choices in the field that we're left with, I think Bruno is the most creative and most agile and most mobile to stick in there. I know he's not great at coming back, and the Bournemouth game showed that. But in my opinion, I don't think we should have got Sesko. I think if we had Cunha and we had Mount, but we didn't know Mount was going to stay so fit, and he's been amazing this season. I'm so happy for him. We could have done without the 70 million striker if hindsight's an awful thing with Cunha and Buemo, Mount, Bruno, and went and got a midfielder. I get where you're coming from that. But if the die's been cast, we've got the players we've got in, we're not going to have the funds. Like we've said countless times in the summer, there one transfer window is not going to fix this team. And in my opinion, I do agree with Jacqueline as well. I think, Bruno Fernandes, for this season, whether he stays beyond or not, I think there is going to be two midfielders, and that's been the constant word, not the word on the street, but from all the journalists, that two midfielders and a wing back and a centre back is the goal for even January and the summer, which says to me that we actually have a plan now. Like I just pointed out that the Sesko and keeping Bruno in the midfield kind of didn't work out as hoped, and I do get, like I said, the new manager coming in, Portuguese captain, top assists, top goals. You're thinking, right, first full season, keep the Bruno in midfield, the captain. He has good output. We're lacking of goals. He creates goals, and that's where I stand on it. And I know it can be seen in this flipping the other side, mistake, fuck up, sack the manager, blah blah blah. But I really like Ruben Amorim, and I like his press conference there as well. I was very, very impressed with it.
I'm the opposite. I think he sunk himself for me in that press conference when he backed Bruno Fernandes. I just thought, you know what, you're spineless. You hounded lads out of the football club, and now that your Portuguese compatriot is having a go at the team and saying that he shouldn't have been sold and the manager had to keep me, you don't have the backbone to come out and say that he should have kept his mouth shut, which he's been trying to say. I mean, he said it of Chido Obi, and he sang Harry Amos for their Instagram photos, and then defended Bruno Fernandes in the same press conference. No. Sacked. Won't be unhappy if he goes.
I don't agree. Did you watch the full interview?
Bring who in?
I don't. Do you know? I don't know who to bring in. I don't. I just know that Ruben Amorim, I don't believe is going to get it right. I don't think after all this time he fully understands the Premier League yet. I don't think he knows what he's playing. He got that team attacking, right? We'll segue into the Bournemouth game, because the Bournemouth game is a classic example of the Amorim era. He got that team up to attack Bournemouth, right? And he thought that it was going to take effort and hard yards and running, and I'll show you what my team can do. And he came out and said, my team isn't playing well and I'll take it and we can do better, right? And they did, right? And Bournemouth ran straight through the middle of his Manchester United. Straight through it. Didn't respect the midfield, didn't respect Casemiro, didn't respect Bruno Fernandes, looked at it and went, push them. Just run with the ball. Don't even try intricate passes or whatever. Run with the ball through the midfield. And it worked consistently. United could have lost the game in the end. 2 brilliant saves at the end by Lamans, I thought. One with his feet and that one would he got down to. He had a phenomenal performance, which is mad for a goalkeeper that had in 4 goals. But he was under so much pressure. But he doesn't see it, Amorim. He puts Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro out there week on week on week on week. And week on week it's an issue. And it's poor and there's no control. And he can't keep hold of the game. He just scored more goals. Congrats. You also conceded 4. And what will he do to correct this against Aston Villa, who's a better football team? Will he not play Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes? We know that's not going to be the case. He will he's going to put that midfield in and die on that sword.
Yeah, well, it's a blueprint for the opposition at the minute, that midfield, isn't it? Mm-hmm. That's the way you get through. That's the way you break down Man United.
Who was it came out at the start of the season and said, we looked at the midfield and didn't respect us?
Fulham, Iwobi.
Yeah.
Alex Iwobi, converted left winger from Arsenal, Alex Iwobi, playing centre midfield. We looked at the midfield and knew there was a weakness to exploit.
Yeah, sure, we know that. We've called it out constantly, and we can huff and puff. But until we get a few windows and get the right personnel into the midfield, it's what's going to happen. And we're just going to have to hope to score more than the opposition.
Could he not just change the formation? Could he not just... he has now lost his African contingent, right? This whole respecting him for die on his philosophy thing is going really stale with me now at the minute. There are instances where I would turn around and say, yes, do you know what, with the full squad, everything going right, you should stick to your guns and you should stick to your philosophy. But when it's... Manchester United, I think, at the minute have a squad to be competing for the top 4. But they don't look like a team that should be there at the minute because of the way he plays.
But I thought that for not back to the Bournemouth game again, that first half was unbelievable. That was brilliant. That was the best football I've watched in a long time.
So entertaining.
Now, we called it out in the group chat as well. And, 4-4. It's not what you want to see, but for entertainment value, I thought if we had better centre backs with 2 kids in there, and then obviously the midfield issue, it's going to leak goals. On another day, if you had maybe one of the 2, Delit back or Maguire back, a bit more experience in that back line, bit of steel in there, experience, could have been a far different end game. But it wasn't. But it was still entertaining, and it showed how we settled the attacks getting at the minute. And I thought Sesko came on after an injury. I thought he'd made some brilliant plays and runs, and I got an assist for Cunha, I think, as well. And I hope he picks up as well. But there is obviously glaring issues in that team, and I think ultimately you can't just bin off the manager with one window and his first full season. I think to have us where we are with the issues we have, he's not doing too bad.
Where would you say the issues are? Where would you buy?
Obviously midfield, definitely.
Have you seen who you're in talks for? Officially in talks for?
Semenyo.
Yeah. So how can you say the manager knows the issues and is going to work on them? Semenyo?
No, but that's an issue. That is another issue. I'm not convinced by Dorgu. I'm not convinced by... on that left-hand side.
You don't start building your house with a roof.
No, but you start with what's available. If we can't get Baliba, Anderson, or anybody in January,
we can't. We're not trying.
But you don't know. You don't know that. That's what
I know that Manchester United have a limited amount of money to spend, and they're choosing to pursue a £60 million winger after spending almost £200 million in the summer. That's not me guessing. That's a fact. It's there. Romano has come out and said they are in talks. So are City.
Yeah.
So when you know, as Ruben Amorim, that your defence is in dire straits and your midfield is a gaping hole in that team, what are you doing going for Semenyo?
You're not. He's going to Liverpool.
If he's available,
City and United came out yesterday morning in talks for Antoine Semenyo. Romano's pretty reliant, and he confirmed it. He said there are open talks between both Manchester City and Manchester United with Bournemouth Football Club. They're both interested in paying the 60 million release clause.
It's because this release clause is active now until the 10th of January, right? Now, you have our top targets in midfield, right? Anderson. Is Forrest going to let him go in January? No. Is Brighton going to... Are they in the Europa? Are they in the conference? Brighton? Conference?
Are they in Europe?
I think so.
Palace and...
Palace, is it?
No,
they missed out in Europe.
Well, they're looking probably extortionate amount of money at the minute to let him go in January, right?
75 million for Baleba.
Yeah,
it's 15 million.
They want to go. Yeah, they want to get into Europe. So it's likely that if we want Baleba, it would have to be the summer. The same with Anderson, right? Wharton or Palace are in Europe. Wharton, they're not going to let Wharton go in January. So if part of the house is available in January, the release clause.
But he's not even a remotely part of the house. But he's not. No, he's
listen. No, if he's available and that's the top target for that position, and is available for the release clause, and the left side, right, and there's a rival going for him, but that's a player that we want. No,
you're talking about the left wing back.
Yes,
he can't defend. Semenyo can't defend.
He doesn't want that role. He's come out and said it.
He can't defend. He's not a left wing back. He's a left forward. This is where it gets infuriating. He is not. Where are you playing Semenyo? He plays in Cunha's position or in Mbeumo's position. So £60 million to cover Mbeumo for a couple of weeks when he goes to AFCON, and then give yourself a further selection headache when it comes back, because Bruno Fernandes is saying that he wants to stay for a few years. The world and its dog knows that Fernandes can only play in a 10 position, but you're buying Semenyo. You're further annoying the Rory McGuinnesses of the world looking at it going, you're choosing to play Bruno Fernandes in midfield now. You're choosing
enjoy
the banter.
Jallo's a 10.
Enjoy that.
Mbeumo's a 10. Cunha's a 10. Mount is a 10, right? There's the 4 that we have at the minute they can play. Fernandes is a 10. 5. Semenyo, 6. 6 for 2 positions when you've no fucking midfield or defence. What are you doing?
Yes, there's midfield rumours too, you know.
Yeah, but no. Right, okay, before we go off, right? Carlos Baleba, it is rumoured, can go for 75 million. Now, I agree with you, Kieran, right? There's no saying that you can get Carlos Baleba for 75 million, because Brighton will not want to sell one of their starting midfielders when they're doing so well, right? And there's rumours about Matt O'Reilly, but I don't think Matt O'Reilly can keep himself fit, right? So if I was Hertzler, I would be screaming at my board going, you're not selling Baleba. I can't be doing with trying to replace Baleba in January, not when we're doing so well on the table, okay? There is that element of doubt where Brighton are a selling football team and 75 million is a lot of money, okay? But just what's annoying me is they're not trying. They're not testing the waters of a Nottingham Forest or a Brighton. And maybe there's been talks happening outside of what we know about, and maybe they're less than favourable, which is why it's not progressing. But I just don't see how you go into that window and start looking at Antoine Semenyo. Like, if that is the case, you can't get the midfielder. Okay, right, we'll park the midfield then. You know what I mean? Try and find something to go back. Look at the defenders then. You'll get a defender for 60, 70 million pounds in January. No one's turning down 60, 70 million pounds for, a centre back, right? You could fix that area. But when you change it, to me, right, so this is why I get annoyed. To me, it screams of Ruben Amorim doesn't see the midfield and the defence as the issues that we see. He's looking at it and going, right, well, that's okay. What if I got, and he referenced, I think where Kieran's coming from, the left wing back, is the reference to the Everton game. When he said, I don't have an Ahmed Diallo for the left-hand side. And instantly you would think, well, Semenyo could be that. If you're looking for an attack-minded left wing-back, Semenyo could be that, right?
Yeah.
But Semenyo doesn't play there and will defend as well as Ahmed Diallo, which is pretty poor on that side, right? Now, Antoine Semenyo could get away with defending poorly if the left-hand side and the centre of your back three is elite.
Yes.
But it's not.
No, not yet.
So don't buy the roof when you
No,
literally haven't finished the foundations.
I get that. But if it's not elite yet, but if that...
They shipped 4 goals against Bournemouth. They couldn't score against Everton. They struggled to get past West Ham. It is an issue. It's massive. Huge.
I know it is.
Semenyo will fix fuck all.
In the long run, he will fix that left-hand side in the long run. Would he not?
Amorim will be sacked before Semenyo fixes it. How many years can he go without the Champions League? Do you know what I mean? Like, if he buys Semenyo, say, at a rough guesstimate, I would say United have £250 million to spend next summer. Would that be fair?
Yeah.
Possibly, plus sales.
Plus sales. Yeah, right. So let's be kind here. We'll say United raised the £40 million for Hoyland, right? So we push it to 290. Okay. Rashford's 50-50 because apparently Barcelona are flip-flopping now and having to pay it.
30 million. Put 30 million for him. Greenwood apparently is next summer. Big bucks. We get half that money as well.
Right. So let's be kind to you and say there's 350 million. Right? Is that fair?
Possibly. If
60 million on Semenyo, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd say it'll cost the guts of £200 million to effectively fix the midfield because you need 3, and that's me being kindy again. Okay, we'll say Baleba goes for 75 million. We'll even downplay Wharton and Anderson, say one signs for 90 million and 35 million pounds to get the backup for Casemiro. 60's madness, right? 65. So there's your 200 million, 260 million. So you have 90 million pounds now, right, to go and fix the rest of the Manchester United team, right? That is fantasy football stuff. That is like hypotheticals. Let's play a FIFA and you buy all of the perfect things for the perfect positions on the pitch, right? Or in reality, when you're not a shit run football club, you go and you buy the fucking midfielder in January, right? And you fix the issue so that the back end of your season could possibly get you into Europe where you have more money to spend.
Yeah.
But they're not doing that. They're signing Semenyo, which to me, at my original point, screams our manager does not think that Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes are a massive issue. And further to my point earlier, he thinks if he does sign a Baleba, a holding midfielder, that will fix the midfield. Bruno Fernandes won't be an issue anymore. Bruno's doing brilliant. We like Bruno in there. As you said, he's creative. He keeps making chances. He scores goals. Get him a holding midfielder and it'll fix all the issues. I promise you that will fall on its face and this man will get sacked.
Not necessarily, and it's not just Semenyo that it's pretty heavy on. It's going to be a Semenyo and a midfielder, either Ruben Neves or Conor Gallagher on a loan, just temporarily.
Ruben Neves wants to come back to the Premier League.
Yeah, 20 million
on the cheap, not big fee, like, you know what I mean.
Is he not only 400 grand a week?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, unless he lowers his wages.
Consolidated wage structure that our manager and director of football have preached. How are they paying that?
Well, that's
or are they like break it now because the Portuguese international coming in?
Yeah, but that's just what I've been reading along with the Semenyo train is alongside has been the midfielder has been the two names have been loan for Gallagher and Ruben Neves. But of course, it's Manchester United, Portuguese coach, Bruno Fernandes, captain. Yeah. It could be just clicks and bullshit. You know what I mean? But that's just one of the names. And when has that relationship? He played with Cunha at Wolves, didn't he?
Yeah.
So there's that link. If you want to throw more petrol on the fire. Neves
is a good footballer. He's a very good footballer. The finances there may be the sticking issue. I don't know
if he lowered his wages.
He's going to have to, Kieran.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to pay
that.
Nobody's going to match that. No club.
If you align with the wage structure apparently that's in place now at Manchester United, why not?
But you're still talking about getting a partner for Bruno Fernandes in midfield.
No, well, not for until the summer. In my opinion.
So you think? So are we honestly saying here, right, that you truly believe that Bruno Fernandes, after the statements and stuff that he came out with and how his manager spoke about him in the press conference, is leaving in the summer? Is that honestly what you think?
Yeah, that is what I think.
You think he's going, Mum?
Yeah.
Why is Amorim sticking up for him then?
I've no idea. Because he's his captain. Because he relies on him. Because he asked him to stay, and he stayed.
When he plays weekend.
And then he just ditches him. He turns about face and says, do you know what, thanks for the year, but you have to come out.
Well,
They'll spin it some other way, Rory.
It's the club. Bruno did say it was the club.
Yeah.
The club wouldn't be bothered if he left. That's what he felt.
And he said his manager tried to keep him. So that's what I'm asking you. Is it a case of Ruben Amorim fought to keep Bruno Fernandes for 1 year, but turns around and has told him, or will tell him in the summer, actually, I need you to go. I've defended you all year. I've played you over Kobe Mainoo. I've done everything that I can to shoehorn you into my team, but I don't need you anymore, and you're out there. It doesn't seem right to me.
No, he'll not say it like that.
No, I don't think it would be spun that way.
He wants to change the scenery or something like that. You know, that he's got a better offer, that he wants to win league titles, blah, blah.
He just came out this week and said he wants to stay at Manchester United, where he believes he'll win title. Did no one watch? Did no one watch the Rio Ferdinand interview?
Yeah, I watched a good bit of it. Yeah, I did.
Did you watch? You clearly didn't watch it, Mum.
No, I didn't watch it.
He came out and said, word for word, I'm happy here. I want to stay at this football club and win titles. And then he gets there and the narrative is spun. Actually, do you know what? Me and the manager talked shite all season. I really wanted to go. Surprise. No. Bruno Fernandes has come out and cemented the fact that he is staying at Manchester United this week.
He said he's happy. He's happy to stay if the club wants me.
He said this crap before.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a time loop of Bruno Fernandes bullshit here now.
Yeah, but didn't he also say in an interview that it would be nice for his children to live in the sunshine instead of the rain in Manchester?
Word for word out of his mouth, right? I'm happy at Manchester United. I want to stay here.
But people change their mind all the time, Rory.
In the space of 3 months, honestly, why did he come out and say that this week then?
I don't know. But that's what I said. Like, I mean, it's all soundbite. You know,
or what?
I know, sorry, let me talk. Oh, I come out and I sort of diss the board and diss this. Now I have to come out and, you know, big up the board, big up the club. Because he got flagged from it. That's why. That's why he did the interview with Rio Ferdinand. Because he got an awful lot of kickback from it.
From the interview from November?
Yeah.
There's times where I would love to live
and all that good shit.
There's times I'd love to live in the headspace that you get into where you just can't see anything wrong at Manchester United. It's all good. Don't worry about Bruno Fernandes and the manager and what he came out with. Don't worry about the fact that he plays midfield. Don't worry about the fact that Bruno Fernandes said he wants to stay for years and everything points to him playing captain for Manchester United midfield, because you're wrong. The blatant obvious isn't what's happening. There's a whole element of fluffy bullshit grey in behind it, and Bruno Fernandes will go in the summer. Oh, don't worry that he said he's going to stay for years and win trophies, and don't worry that the manager backed him on it. That's all a smokescreen. What are you talking about?
Well, maybe it's because I watch or listen to a lot of political podcasts that I know the game that they play.
You need to lay off YouTube and Donald Trump, right, and bring yourself back into reality, right, and realise that 9 times out of 10, when this stuff happens, it's exactly as it says on the tin. There is no media game, shell game being played. Why would Ruben Amorim do that to Bruno Fernandes, right? Just to try and play this out in your head. Why would he do that to him? Why would he come out and say he wants to keep him when he doesn't?
Well, what else is he going to say? Of course he's going to say that.
Why did he fight to keep him in the summer?
Because he wasn't going to get the midfield.
Okay, and if I'm Bruno Fernandes' teammate and you see the manager come out, shield you the entire season, keep you, have talks with you, hold you back from your £100 million deal, and then shit on you and let you leave in the summer or force you out in the summer, as you're saying, right? What tone does that set for the rest of us?
I'm not talking about anybody forcing him out. I just think he will leave.
So he comes out, so he's a liar then. He came out and did the interview with Rio Ferdinand and said, want to win trophies, want to stay for years, but he's a liar. He wants to go.
Rory, it's all PR. He got flack from that interview that he gave to the Portuguese channel. He got
Okay.
an
Does anyone
awful
remember back when he did this
negative
the last time?
feedback. It's all PR. It's all, oh, I love the club. Kiss the badge. Share it. Move on.
Do you remember the last time that he came out and said this? Do you remember he came out and said, I don't know what my future's going to be? I think it was Eric Ten Hag, wasn't it? The last time he got the contract. Do you remember when he did this?
And
And said he wanted to stay?
he was interviewed after the FA Cup final, wasn't it?
Yeah. Do you remember when he played the same game, Mum, and you said, oh no, it could be a smokescreen and media, whatever, and then Bruno Fernandes stayed at Manchester United and got a new contract? What previous have you got to turn around and say that this could be a smoke? Like, I just don't get that logic. There's no precedent for this. No one has done this before that I can remember in living memory. And Bruno Fernandes has come out and said, I wanted to stay. I'm going to be here to win titles for years. And stayed. What are you basing it on? Just a hunch?
My logic.
Okay. Right. Well, that I can take, okay? Because that's madness, but okay.
Everyone's going to have their own spin and opinions, I suppose. That's what makes this wonderful.
As long as your opinion is
interesting,
based on some sort of and you're not just deflecting for Manchester United's sake and saying Bruno Fernandes is the new midfielder at Manchester United. It's the reason I want Amorim out. He has cemented it in my head.
You can't, Rory. It is so obvious that other teams, as say Alex Iwobi came out and said it, he is the square peg in the round hole in that midfield. Yeah. Every other team, every other manager can see it. Every other, it is so obvious. And for Ruben Amorim to persist with it, I get why you want him out. Because if that's the case and we don't get a midfielder come January, Bruno Fernandes is still there and we're going to get nowhere.
How would you fix the current situation with Bruno Fernandes? How would you move him out of that midfield? Either of you. If you can make one signing right in the summer, anybody, fancy football crap, right? Who would you buy? Kieran wants the menu, okay? Who would you buy in the summer or in January? So
not in the summer.
Adam Wharton.
You'd buy Adam Wharton. Now, how would that fix the current play of the Manchester United team? Play that one.
You have to drop Bruno Fernandes and move him to number 10. And is Ruben Amorim going to do that? No. And possibly Ruben Amorim will lose his job over it.
So who would you play Wharton with then in midfield?
It has to be Casemiro.
So you would go Wharton, Casemiro, and move Bruno into a 10 position. Saying boom, we'll cover for him, boom, we'll win, and boom was away, and then. Okay. Kieran?
Spaniel, only joking.
Stick with it, Kieran. Wind him up.
I'm only joking. I'm only just.
Oh, look, I know that Kieran doesn't mind Bruno Fernandes in midfield, and I have made my peace with that. Some Freddie is at me the other night. We went to watch the football and stuff like that, and I obviously am very resolute that I don't think he can do it. But I know that other Manchester United fans don't share my opinion. Some people don't see Fernandes as the issue; they see the fact that he hasn't got a legitimate partner as the issue, and I can eat that. That's fair enough. I don't believe that, but
I don't. I'm kind of on the fence with it because sometimes I can see where Bruno would work in the midfield with the right partner. I can see that in some games. And then there's games where we could run through him in the field and then concede 4 goals. Now, there always is talk of in the last couple of weeks, and this week after the AFCON starting, that the formation will change, and he's talking about evolving his formation. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. I don't think it will, but that's what I've been reading. And I did see he did try it a few times in the Bournemouth game to forward the back. He alternated between formations, and we did play some pretty good football now, albeit now the defence wasn't great and the midfield wasn't great at times, as we've seen all season. But I don't know. I think Bruno Fernandes is key to it being a 10, and I would rather sign a midfielder if like a Wharton or an Anderson. I still like an Anderson who can cover every blade of grass. Bruno, go, you do your thing, assist, score, and I'll sit back here. I've got you covered.
So we're all in agreement. A midfielder to replace Bruno Fernandes in midfield, yeah? Because he should push him to a 10.
Yeah.
Does Antoine Semenyo signing not destroy that logic in your heads?
I could never see that signing anyway.
No, it defies belief. I am stunned by it. When they came out and said United are actually in talks, actually proceeding with it, I thought,
No,
okay,
no.
I have got this manager
Can't see
completely.
the logic in that. And especially when he came out and said that he does not want to play wing back, that he's a winger.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. Ruben Amorim's set up when it's ideal and it's 3-4-3 and the team that beat Man City play with more of a left midfielder and a right midfielder. You don't have to be the out and out all encompassing defender, but you do when you're playing for United at the minute because United don't have a solid backline. So again, he just seems to be overloading himself with options to play in the forward positions as if goals and creativity are costing him the game, and he's completely ignoring the fact that the lack of control, and it's not just the Bournemouth game, right? Everton really annoyed me. People talk about Bruno Fernandes as if he can do no wrong and he's the reason that Manchester United score all these goals and all these assists. He is the cause of the lack of balance in the team. And if you're prioritising YouTube videos over balance in the team, then you're completely getting it wrong with what it takes to compete in modern football. Case in point being the balance the PSG showed. How many players did they oust from their team because they didn't believe that they added balance? And then they went with that Portuguese duo of João Neves and Vitinha. And when you looked at João Neves and Vitinha compared to the Marco Verrattis and the huge stars the PSG had signed, you looked at them and went, that'll not work, that'll not make a difference. It's the best midfield in Europe because it's balanced. They're selfless. They run every blade of grass. They play nice passing football. They're not the creative beautifulness of Bruno Fernandes, who is much better than them going forward, but they can do everything well. And that is what Bruno Fernandes shouldn't be near in midfield. He's a luxury player at Manchester United at a time that we don't need one to play in that midfield. And this manager is pushing forward with the signing of Semenyo. I don't believe, guys, that Antoine Semenyo is being signed to cover the left wing back position. He can't be, because he can't defend. So he's being signed as another attacking creative outfit on the left midfield. So what is the logic then? If Bournemouth score 4, we'll score 6? Is this what we're building now? Because I watched the same team play Everton, the same team scored 4 goals, right? And couldn't fucking score against Everton. And it was because there was no control, no balance, and they were pegged back by 10 men. It was disgusting to watch. Brutal. But fast forward a couple of weeks and we're willing to completely ignore and forget that because the last game we scored 4 goals. And we've been popping goals in. We scored 4 against Wolves, scored 4 against Bournemouth. We have really talented players. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
United are shit. They are so poor. They're not a good team.
They're not consistent, that's for sure.
It really annoys me when people say, like, Manchester United, there's something there, they're building something, blah, blah, blah. Like what are we? If that's all it takes to entertain us, we'll completely ignore conceding 4. United shouldn't concede 4 goals in any game. Ever.
No.
Yeah, but I can see Kieran's point. With that back line, 2 kids at the back.
There are alliances.
Sorry?
There are alliances, but if you wanted to protect those 2 kids at the back, you should have played Ugarte and Casemiro, 2 holding midfielders.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm shocked that midfield hasn't been given a chance, especially when you're going into a game tomorrow against a free-flowing Villa who could put us to the sword.
We'll see what it is tomorrow, because I would think Bruno Fernandes is going to go back into a 10.
Yeah.
With Bruno missing, so I'd say
you think he plays Kobe?
Go back into a 10 role. Sorry?
Do you think he plays Kobe? Who do you think goes into the midfield?
No, I'd say Ugarte. I don't think he'll start Kobe, man. He might give him more minutes, but
I don't think he likes Ugarte at all.
Oh, he's the other one that they reckon is going in the summertime.
Uncertainty in January.
Yeah.
But I don't think
they'll go in January.
Sorry?
I would.
Ugarte and Xerxes in January. He can't sell Ugarte in January because he doesn't know what's going to happen with Kobe Manu. He could sell Ugarte and Kobe could end up throwing the head up the last week of January and leaving. So when you have one central midfielder.
Of Leeds, them going on loan to Leeds, Kobe Manu.
Okay. That'll go down well with United fans.
I think Ugarte goes in the summer.
Yeah.
Definitely goes in the summer, but I think he has come out and said that he wants to keep Joshua Zirkzee.
Oh, I thought
He
he was
wants to keep
open
him
to
because of
loan.
the African Cup of Nations.
Yeah.
No, he's worried about squad depth, that they don't have the players. He is resolute on not wanting Chido Obi to be part of the first team because he came out and said in his press conference that he's not going to bow down to peer pressure to play the kids, that they have to learn patience and have to learn to wait. So this
You know, from my also
thing
Rory, he said they were entitled.
yeah, but I think like Manchester United fans at time, right, as a fan base, right, as a whole, and I'm guilty of it too, right, have a really flawed, silly logic at times. So sell Joshua Zirkzee, right, and then who you playing up front? And Chido Obi has been proven that he's not ready. Cunha, when he plays up front, can't seem to put the ball in the back of the net. And Bruno is going away to AFCON. Like, Joshua Zirkzee in January makes no sense. It's not going to happen. Mamadou Ugarte in January makes no sense. It's not going to happen. Kobe Manu is going to be down to Kobe Manu, so that's totally different. If Manu throws the head up, he could end up going. But United won't sell in January. It'll be the lads that are out on loan. I think they'll try and push because Hoyland is having an exceptional season, so I'd say Napoli will try and buy him. Yeah, I will not get bogged down on the Rasmus. Has anyone seen Rasmus Hoyland recently? He's happy, scoring goals.
Yeah, I watched him actually the other night.
Yeah, I'm glad happy for him.
The Super Cup, the Italian Super Cup, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did any of you see the Scott McTominay interview?
No.
No? So he was
trying not to watch ex players, Kieran. It really frustrates me.
No, so he was interviewed and he was obviously Manchester United come up, and there was a question. All the pundits love this statement that when players leave United, they're so much better players when they leave, get out of the toxic Manchester United and all the rest. Scott immediately shut them down, basically saying, that's just an excuse. You can see that, yes, obviously there's less media attention. When you leave Manchester United, into the like Napoli team, you're playing week in, week out, you score a goal, you build confidence, and there's not as much media attention and, pressure, he said as well. And I think he called that an excuse.
He's probably right. He's probably right. Manchester United just aren't a good football club and just aren't a good football team. There is no excuse to be had. I'm sick of people using Manchester United as like this brand that ruins players.
No. Just
if you're an aspiring young footballer, right? And I love Manchester United, don't sign for us. Don't. No. You'll ruin your career.
And he came out and said like that club, Manchester, has all the tools and facilities and everything there to make you a top footballer. So it's up to you whether you have the mindset and the personality to be good at Manchester United, to be a fantastic player.
Yeah. Scott McTominay wasn't the top footballer at Manchester United, so that's the perfect example. Scott McTominay wasn't the world-class talent that he is now. He did what he should have done. He went for his development to another country, and now he's a big player. Rasmus Hoyland is another brilliant example of it. Garnacho is trying to better himself in the Premier League by going to Chelsea. Kobe Manu, if he goes in January, cannot be blamed. United are a shit show. They are a joke of a club to come to. It's big in name only now, okay, and in revenue only. It will not progress your career. You cannot put your hand on an example in the last 5 to 6 years of a player that has come to Manchester United, bettered himself and left to new heights. It's usually come in, ruin your reputation, and then your reputation grows when you leave. The toxicity of Manchester United. And I don't think it's toxic because like there's all these media attentions and stuff like that. It's poorly run. It's a lot of different managers and a lot of different cultures, and it changes every couple of years. And I think Scott's bang on. It's Manchester United's got every advantage under the sun, right? It just can't steady itself. I do really, really loathe my mother's defence of Manchester United, even in the face of catastrophe. It grates because I'm built completely opposite. I like to call things out when they're there. Mum's like, nope, you're wrong. Positive spin at all times. United do no wrong.
I just like arguing with you, Rory. That's all it is as well. By now.
Can United beat Villa to get back on track?
No.
Yeah.
I have never been more certain we're going to lose.
No, I can't see it. Villa's on a good run now.
That's the thing. All
They
of
just
them
play
come
a
to an
style of
end.
football. Yeah, but
Not
do you know
against us,
what?
Kieran.
Well,
Do you know when we've gone to big games before and we've been like, we could win this? You know, Man City, they're going to come to play against us and blah, 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 blah. Villa aren't.
they have a good record against Villa.
Villa are very Unai Emery in their approach. Villa won't. Villa will do a Villa tomorrow. Instead of coming as the imposing team in form, right? I'm expecting Villa to come and sit in two low blocks and ask United to break them down and counter-attack them and beat them. In a
Are
very...
we home tomorrow?
Yeah. No.
I thought we were away.
We're away.
Villa Park.
We are away.
Yeah, or Old Trafford on.
I don't think them being the home team is going to change his game plan. I think he will be like a bit like Anthony Joshua against Jake Paul last night. He knows he's going to win it, and he just bide his time until it happens.
I don't know.
Right, so if United don't beat Villa tomorrow, right, they play Newcastle on Boxing Day. And then my doomsday scenario that I threw out to you guys a couple of weeks ago is staring us in the face in the wake of the Bournemouth draw, where Manchester United could slip into the bottom half of the table coming up to January. The clubs in 5th and 6th could put daylight between themselves and United. United could be staring down a chase up the table for the conference. How confident are we that Man United cannot get themselves in that scenario? How confident are we can take points from Villa or Newcastle?
Well, I'm going to fence it here.
I think we can take a draw on Sunday, and then I know Newcastle at home. I think we've shown we can score goals at home if we get. Hopefully, if for the Newcastle game, if we can get De Ligt or Maguire back into the centre of defence, I think we can get something from Newcastle at home. They haven't been fantastic this season. Haven't been very consistent.
No.
So that I think that game is there for a 3 point, and then we have Wolves after that. So I'm pretty confident we'll beat Wolves. So I'm going to say best case scenario.
Don't Newcastle have beat
7. Yeah, he only came back there the last game.
Yeah, he came back scored, didn't he?
Minutes. Yeah.
Be interesting to see how he plays with Waldmeda, because I think Waldmeda's made to play for him the way he runs in off the back of people.
Yeah, because they subbed off for each other. Waldmeda came on for Wisa, so I don't know if he's going to play one of them.
On to Mark Waldmeda.
That's what I mean. If we can get a De Ligt or at least Maguire back as well, Martinez more fit. When does he start playing Martinez from the start?
When does Martinez start his first game?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh, he has to start soon.
I think maybe over the Christmas period with the players out and the players going to the AFCON, maybe I think he needs that leader, he needs that fight from Martinez back into the starting team, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, it'd be great to see a team that has De Ligt and Martinez beside him. It really would.
Yeah, if we can get 6 or 7 points out of these 3 games, I'll be happy enough, but who knows? It could be 4 or 5. Could be win against Wolves and 2 draws. It could be anything. Depends what shows up and how we cope with the players that are out.
I love your optimism, man. I'm going to say United get 3 points out of the next 3 games. I just don't think they'll beat Villa or Newcastle. I'm not being negative. I just don't think they will.
No.
I think Newcastle have too much in midfield for us, and I honestly think Unai Emery's too savvy at the minute, and his players are in too good a form. You would say if a manager got over eager like a Pep or an Arteta was like, right, go and smash United, maybe United would get something from it and catch them on the counter. But I think Emery's just too shrewd. I think he'll let us run ourselves into Villa and then score against us.
I could see 4. I could see realistically, being totally honest, a win against Wolves, a draw at Newcastle, and beat by Villa.
United have got some pretty decent draws and some unexpected results this season, so it's not bad to think they would get a draw out of Villa. I mean, I think if they want to go for Europe this year, they really need to get a draw in one of those games, because when you see this period, right, this January-December mix, this is where the segregation starts.
Mm-hmm. It's an important period. It's a very important period.
It is. And if the teams in form keep winning, you could be looking at say Villa, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, City sitting as the cemented top 5, and then the rest trying to catch up, and you just want to be in with that pack.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the pack chasing the pack that's chasing the pack kind of thing, that sort of way.
I know, and I'm like you look at this season on the flip side, just play devil's advocate as we do. Like, who expected United to go to Anfield and win? And break that curse, if you will.
I can't see Liverpool making top 4.
And the Brighton, who always seem to have our number, and beat us by 2 or 3 goals, went out and beat Brighton as well. So that there's trends there. Whenever we're up against it or we're expected, Palace away, there's another one. Palace will smash us. Mateta and all the rest will rip us apart. Wharton, midfield, we're gone, and we beat Palace away. So, there is that element of we have surprised a lot of people this year, or undermined us, or wrote us off in these games.
A couple of shock results.
Did you say there you don't think Liverpool get top 4?
Huh?
Did you say you don't think Liverpool get top 4?
No.
Really?
Yeah. They're the same as us, Roy. They're up and down.
I don't think they are. I think they were down. They went through that real rough patch at the start of the season.
You think they're back?
Unless I'm wrong, I don't think Liverpool have lost in their last 5 games. I think they have 3 wins and 2 draws. Now, the draws were chaotic, the Leeds game and stuff like that, but they beat Inter Milan, and then they comfortably won their last game. Who did they play? Brighton, wasn't it? Didn't they beat Brighton 2-0?
2-0. They scored 2 late goals. There was a sending off, and then they scored 1 goal, and then the sending off, and then the 94th minute goal.
I think I wouldn't say not back to their best, but I mean, Liverpool 70% firing, still probably top 3 teams in the Premier League. Just having abundance of riches in terms of squad. City and Arsenal look like they won't be caught. City and Arsenal are deadly consistent at the minute. It's going to be an interesting race, I think, for the Premier League. After that, I would say Villa are brilliant, but Liverpool are going to come third. And then it's anyone's game, really. I just don't. Chelsea are like us. Chelsea have real inconsistencies in them. I think Liverpool, once they right the ship, Liverpool will go on a run. And unfortunately for all of us, Liverpool still have a lot of money to spend because they went through that season of not spending. So Villa will be top 5, top 6. Newcastle and Spurs look crap, guys.
Yeah, Spurs don't look very good.
Spurs look awful. No, neither did Newcastle. I don't know what's happened there.
Yeah, it's just gone very pear-shaped, especially they haven't really changed much. They still have the players there. Like, is Joe Linton injured? Has he been playing? Haven't heard him mentioned.
Yeah, Joe Linton was out for a while. Bruno Guimaraes was out for a while.
Bruno's playing and Tonali's playing.
I mean, they do seem to have consistent injury issues, that team.
And they're in Europe, aren't they?
And they're in Europe.
And
I think Eddie Howe has referenced it now with a squad that is not capable of managing the expectations of Europe. They don't really have the backups.
Yeah.
But it's going to be an interesting Christmas period. So we shall be back the week after next. Going to take the week off for Christmas. Mum has an awful lot of editing to do. Otherwise, I'm going to look like I usually look, like a prick, argumentative and disruptive. But yes, we'll be back to, I'd say we get one before the new year, guys. We'll have like a New Year's one.
Yeah.
So enjoy the game tomorrow against Villa. I think it'll be a tough one to watch for United fans, but I always love to be proved wrong by Ruben Amorim. Yeah, thanks for listening. Check us out on the socials.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone.